Page 21, Hatikvah. I really don't know how to pronounce that, so I probably massacred it. It says it stands for Song of Hope. At the top of the page, they are introducing the damper pedal. Now, on the previous pages to this, they're talking about scales, and I can't stress scales enough. They will make playing the music so much easier for you if you can play the scales. So I would encourage you to do my videos on those scales. Now on page 20, they talk about the damper pedal, and they show you the symbol they use. This is a very common symbol. It's very handy, it's easy to read. My problem with it in most cases is the down part and the up part are not exactly accurate as to exactly when the pedal goes down and up. That's where a teacher comes in handy. If you don't have a teacher, then you're stuck with me. I'll do what I can. Now there's different pedaling techniques. And the one that I teach the most, or at least the one that I start with, is called an overlapping or a delayed technique. And that means that you will push the notes down first and then immediately after push the pedal down. So you get the sound ringing first before you release all the dampers. When it comes up depends on a lot of stuff. I really don't like the way they're doing it here, but they've chosen to use this method, their indications, so we're going to go with that, all right, for now. Later on, hopefully, things will get better. But if you look at this piece on page 21, look at the first line. Between the second and third measures, you see the little pedal indication. So I would suggest you push the pedal down immediately after you play the fourth beat in the left hand, and you lift it up. According to what they're saying, you will lift it up immediately after you play the first beat in the next measure, or with it at the same time. I have a problem with that, and that is because I like to hear the phrasing. And the way they're doing this now, and they're doing it to keep it simple for you, which is nice. We can go with this for now. But the problem is it covers up the phrasing. You see, without the pedal, going from the second to the third measures here, it would be here. There's a definite break between the two measures because it's two different phrases. See? 3, 4, up. You have that little bit of silence before you go on. Well, we're covering that up with the pedal, so you can't do that anymore. They're connecting them like it's one phrase, and they do that throughout this whole piece. So it's going to sound like the whole piece is one long phrase. However, as I said, they're only doing it this way because it's a simple little technique. They're not trying to give you a lot of pedal motions right off the bat. So you can follow this pedaling. It's fine here. Now when you get to the end of the piece, you have the last notes are played and the pedals down. The pedal and the hands all come up at the same time. I'm going to repeat this forever because it's important. Now the last note only gets one beat. So the last measure is that. Having said the pedal part, let's go back and do the tricky stuff. I want to make some suggestions. And starting with the right hand. I would like to, if possible, use different fingers on repeated notes. Most of the time, not always. Right there at the first measure, you're starting out fine. Now, you have 2 more A's, and I suggest a 3-1. So I can use a 3 on the B flat. Okay, then in the next measure, it starts with a thumb. They're saying 4. I suggest a 3-4. So I do the first F is with a 3, the second one is with a 4, and then the next measure starts with a third finger. Next line, you're starting with the thumb again because the next line is pretty much the same as the first line. I'd finger it the same. Third line down on those repeated D's, I would do a 4-5. So it's a 5-4-5 on the D's. Same thing, third measure. Last line, 2, 3, 2. So it's starting out with the thumb and then a 2, 3, 2. 1. And the last 2 eighth notes there, and the next to the last measure, I do a 1, 3. Now, I know this is complicating this piece a bit for you. And if you're struggling, then forget all that. Just do the best you can. But I also know that as the music gets more difficult and you get into more advanced stuff, especially if you start getting into fast stuff, this using different fingers on repeated notes is absolutely imperative. That means it's absolutely necessary. So if you can start learning to do it now, while the music is still relatively simple, and it is, believe it or not, then you'll be so much further off later on down the line. So I would encourage you to explore using these different fingers on repeated notes most of the time. If it's a slow piece, it doesn't matter that much. But the faster piece, it's imperative. This is a slow piece, but I'm encouraging you to do it anyway. So, common time, I'll give us 4 counts. Let's play this together slowly. 1, 2, ready, and go, and.